A capybara crochet. Let's see how I sliced it. Alright guys, this model is from the Rodents drop from Netflix. We have two options of this model, the capybara and also with a small fruit. But I will choose for the simple version because we are printing on single color. So I don't want to put a fruit in brown as the capybara in the same filament. I want to give you some recommendations for articulated models, but mostly about first layer settings, first layer good practices, okay? So let's start with this. If you will never see me saying this, I will explain to you. For example, the first thing that I always want to do with my first layer is to keep the first layer height. Even if I change for my settings from a 0.16 millimeter layer height profile. So in this case, I keep always the same layer height because you have your printer, if it has, for example, manual bed level or automatic bed level, and you set the Z offset manually or with your screen, your printer, and then you set the value for Z offset, you set the distance between the nozzle and the bed. So every time you do this, you are sure about your first layer. So you configure the Z offset and then, oh, that's the good distance and I stuck to it. Okay, so after you set up the distance between the nozzle and the bed, now you are going to the slicer, okay? Setting up the first layer extrusion width and also the first layer height. So imagine, you set the Z offset, you set now the first layer height and also the extrusion width. So if you are changing the layer height from the model and then you, oh, I should change the first layer too. Why? You don't need to. You are just going to put the nozzle closer to the bed and that's not going to help at all, okay? So I recommend you to keep your first layer the same always. And then you just time to time you check your Z offset and that's good because you already have a good setup for your first layer, okay? I will change the layer height for 0.16, okay? I will keep it. And in the advanced settings, I will keep the first layer as 0.48. I want more material in the first layer. I put 20% of the nozzle diameter in here. So we have 0.48 in a 0.4 millimeter diameter nozzle, okay? I do this because I want to ensure the first layer of my print for every model, but in the articulated ones, this is even more important. If I were you, I sure would use the same settings for the first layer for every model. It's going to be more safer and also easy for you, okay? Another thing that I recommend if you are using a PAI sheet, for example, or even if you are using even a glass bed, I usually like to use a slower speed in the first layer, only in the first layer. I don't change too much. If you are using a bamboo printer, if you are using a K1, I don't know, a faster printer, you can change all of your speeds in here depending on your tests. But the first layer, I usually go slower. 20 millimeters per second is my standard in the Ender 3v3 SE because the bed works a lot in the adhesion. But sometimes in PEI sheet, which is not the case, I usually go with 15 millimeters per second. It's really slow. We of course expend some time in the first layer, but I also ensure this. Let me show you. Let's slice it. This model is a really simple one, but look, in the first layer of articulated models, if you are printing faster, you can screw it up in some points of this, for example, or even before. If you are doing here, we have a lot of texture because of the model, and then maybe one line of those could, some part of those extrusion could left the bed. So we don't want this. That's why I usually go really slow in the first layer. So now we did the first part and then we have other. So all the first layer is going to be really slow for we guarantee the success in here. Okay, look at this. And then we finish. After this, we can increase the speed in the rest of the print and it's going to be fine. okay? I don't have so much recommendations in here because it's a real simple model, okay? Only the details that I want to increase with the layer height, 0.16, and I think it's going to be okay. And the first layer, recommendations. This is a really cool model, really cute one as well, and I hope you learned something from this video and increase or improve your first layer techniques, okay? See you in the next one. I hope you guys enjoy it. Those slicing videos are an initiative from STL Academy, which is the educational project from STL. So if you guys want to learn more about 3D printing, you could check our description and look at STL Academy courses. And don't forget, see you guys at the next slicing.